Did you know that one of the most iconic songs of the 80s, Tainted Love by Soft Cell, is actually a cover of a forgotten 60s soul track? Or that Eye of the Tiger, the ultimate workout anthem, only exists because Sylvester Stallone couldn't get the rights to a Queen song? The 80s were full of hits with origins you'd never expect. So, how many of your favorite tracks have surprising stories behind them? Tainted Love by Soft Cell. Did you know that Soft Cell's Tainted Love, one of the most iconic tracks of the 80s, wasn't their original song? It's true. The version we all know and love is actually a cover of a 1964 soul song by Gloria Jones. The original was a lively, upbeat tune that had more of a classic Motown vibe. But here's where it gets interesting. Soft Cell took this bright, soulful track and turned it into something entirely different. Their version, released in 1981, is a moody, synth-heavy anthem that perfectly captures the darker, edgier side of the 80s music scene. Gone are the upbeat rhythms of the original. Instead, Soft Cell introduced a brooding electronic sound that resonated with the era's growing love for new wave and synth pop. Mark Allman's haunting vocals and the minimalist yet powerful production gave Tainted Love a completely new identity, one that was far removed from its soulful roots. What's fascinating is how this cover not only became more popular than the original, but also defined Soft Cell's entire career. The song dominated the charts, reaching the top 10 in several countries and even becoming a massive hit in the US. For many people, when they think of Soft Cell, Tainted Love is the first thing that comes to mind. It's a perfect example of how a cover can not only pay homage to the original, but also reinvent it in a way that makes it unforgettable. Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by Eurythmics. Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by Eurythmics is one of those songs that seems like it was destined to be a hit from the start, but the story behind it is anything but smooth. In fact, this iconic track was born out of a moment of deep frustration. Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart, the duo behind Eurythmics, were at a breaking point. They were struggling in the studio, their partnership was on the verge of falling apart, and everything seemed to be going wrong. But then, something incredible happened. In the middle of all that tension, they channeled their emotions into creating Sweet Dreams. It was a cathartic experience for both, almost like a last-ditch effort to see if they could still make magic together. And make magic they did. The song's hypnotic beat, paired with Lennox's mesmerizing voice, created a track that was both haunting and empowering. This song didn't just save their partnership, it became a massive global hit, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US and topping charts around the world. What's more, it solidified Eurythmics as pioneers of the synth-pop genre. Sweet Dreams isn't just a song, it's a defining moment in 80s music that continues to influence artists today. It's amazing to think that something so enduring and impactful came from a moment when everything seemed like it was falling apart. Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. You know how some songs just feel like they've always existed, like they were destined to be massive hits from the start? Billie Jean by Michael Jackson is one of those songs. But the story behind it is a bit more unsettling than you might expect. The song was inspired by a bizarre experience Michael had with a fan. This woman sent him a letter claiming that he was the father of one of her twins. Yes, one of them. She was absolutely convinced, even though Michael had never even met her. This disturbing situation obviously had a big impact on him, and it got him thinking about the darker side of fame. The result was Billie Jean, a song that's as much about paranoia and the pressures of celebrity as it is about anything else. That bass line is instantly recognizable, right? It pulls you in, but it's the lyrics that really stick with you. Billie Jean is not my lover, she's just a girl who claims that I am the one. Those lines capture the anxiety and confusion Michael felt about the whole situation. The song became a colossal hit, topping charts worldwide, and became one of Michael's signature tracks. It played a huge role in shaping his image as the king of pop, and it's still one of the most iconic songs in music history. The success of Billie Jean also helps to cement Michael's reputation as not just a pop star, but a true artist who could turn even the strangest, most troubling experiences into musical gold. Every Breath You Take by The Police. The song was written by Sting during a particularly rough time in his life. He was going through a messy divorce, and all those feelings of heartbreak, anger, and jealousy came pouring out in the lyrics. It's pretty dark when you think about it. This song talks about watching someone's every move, every breath, every step. It's more about obsession and control than love. But the genius of the song is how it's wrapped in such a smooth, almost soothing melody. It's easy to miss the sinister undertones if you're just casually listening to it. which might be why so many people still think of it as a love song. Despite, or maybe because of, its unsettling theme, Every Breath You Take became one of the Police's most enduring hits. It topped the charts in the US and the UK and won a Grammy for Song of the Year. Even now, decades later, it's still one of those tracks that everyone knows. It's a perfect example of how a song can be both beautiful and haunting at the same time, leaving a lasting impact long after the music stops. Like a Virgin by Madonna. When you think of Madonna, one of the first songs that probably comes to mind is Like a Virgin. It's hard to imagine the 80s without it. But here's something that might surprise you. The song wasn't even written with Madonna in mind. In fact, it was penned by two men, Billy Steinberg and Tom Kelly, and was originally meant to capture the feeling of starting fresh after a tough breakup. The idea was that even after all the heartache, entering a new relationship can make you feel like you're brand new, like a virgin all over again. But when Madonna got her hands on it, she completely transformed the song. With her bold performance and undeniable charisma, she turned Like a Virgin into something much bigger. A powerful anthem of empowerment and self-expression. It wasn't just about starting fresh, it became about owning your sexuality, breaking free from expectations, and embracing who you are without apologies. The way Madonna delivered the song, with her playful yet confident attitude, resonated with listeners everywhere, and pushed the boundaries of what pop music can be. The impact of Like a Virgin was enormous. It wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural phenomenon. The song shot to the top of the charts and played a massive role in establishing Madonna as the pop icon we know today. It's one of those tracks that defined a generation, and it's still as relevant and influential now as it was back then. I Ran So Far Away by A Flock of Seagulls. With its unmistakable synths and catchy chorus, it's a classic of the new wave genre. But did you know the song was heavily inspired by the band's fascination with science fiction? Yep, it's true. The guys in A Flock of Seagulls were big fans of all things sci-fi, particularly stories about alien abductions and outer space, and that influence is all over this track. The lyrics of I Ran reflect that otherworldly inspiration, painting a picture of someone being pursued by an alien force, running through an unknown landscape. The music itself, with its swirling synths and driving beat, perfectly captures that sense of urgency and the futuristic vibe the band was going for. It's like they took the sounds and ideas from their favorite sci-fi movies and channeled them into a pop song. Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie. Under Pressure is one of those songs that feels like pure magic, and when you hear how it was created, you realize that's exactly what it was, a magical moment in music history. Believe it or not, this iconic track was born out of a spontaneous jam session in Montreux, Switzerland. Queen and David Bowie just happened to be at the same studio, and what started as a casual get-together quickly turned into something legendary. Neither Queen nor Bowie had planned to collaborate that day, but once they started jamming, the chemistry was undeniable. The song took shape in a matter of hours, with each artist feeding off the other's energy. Freddie Mercury and David Bowie, two of rock's most charismatic frontmen, shared the mic, and the result was electrifying. The improvisational nature of the session is evident in the song's raw emotion and dynamic shifts. It's as if you could hear the creative sparks flying between them. Under Pressure wasn't just a hit, it became one of the most memorable duets in rock history. The song's infectious bass line, powerful vocals, and poignant lyrics about the pressures of life and the importance of love have resonated with generations of listeners. It's a track that stands the test of time, not just because of who made it, but because of the spontaneity and passion that went into its creation. It's no wonder Under Pressure is still celebrated as one of the greatest collaborations in music. Girls Just Wanna Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. The song was originally written and recorded by Robert Hazard, a male musician, and his version had a much more cynical tone. It was about a guy's perspective on women just wanting to have a good time, and it was nowhere near the anthem of empowerment that it would later become. When Cyndi Lauper got her hands on the song, she completely reimagined it. She saw something different in the lyrics, a message of freedom and fun for women. With her unique voice and quirky style, Cyndi turned Girls Just Wanna Have Fun into a joyful, rebellious anthem that celebrated women's right to live life on their own terms. It wasn't just about having fun, it was about breaking free from the expectations and limitations that society placed on women. The impact of Cyndi's version was massive. It became a defining song of the 80s, reaching the top of the charts and solidifying Cyndi Lauper's place as a pop icon. More importantly, it transformed the way people thought about female empowerment in music. Girls Just Wanna Have Fun is still a go-to anthem for women of all ages. reminding us all that sometimes it's okay to just let loose and enjoy life. Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds. Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds is one of those songs that's so closely tied to a specific moment in pop culture that it's almost impossible to separate the two. The song was written specifically for the movie The Breakfast Club, and what's surprising is that Simple Minds initially didn't want anything to do with it. The band was known for writing their own material, and they weren't too keen on recording a song written by someone else. But after some convincing, they decided to give it a shot, and the rest is history. The song's anthemic chorus and catchy melody perfectly captured the spirit of the film, a story about teenage angst, identity, and connection. It was the perfect soundtrack for the final scene of The Breakfast Club, where the characters walk away from detention, each having learned something important about themselves and each other. Don't You Forget About Me became Simple Minds' biggest hit, and it's forever associated with The Breakfast Club. Even if you've never seen the movie, you probably know the song. It's one of those tracks that has become ingrained in our collective memory. It's amazing to think that a song the band almost passed on ended up being the one that defined their career and became an enduring part of 80s pop culture. Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. Eye of the Tiger is one of those songs that instantly pumps you up, but did you know it almost didn't happen? The song was specifically written for Rocky III after Sylvester Stallone couldn't get the rights to use Queen's Another One Bites the Dust. Stallone needed something that would capture the intensity and grit of the movie, and that's when he turned to the band Survivor. The band quickly got to work, understanding that they needed to create something that would match the raw energy of Rocky Balboa's character. They knew the song had to be powerful, with a driving beat and lyrics that would resonate with the themes of strength, perseverance, and determination that the movie was all about. When they came up with Eye of the Tiger, they knew they had nailed it. The song's opening guitar riff alone is enough to get your adrenaline going, and the lyrics, rising up, back on the street, did my time, took my chances, perfectly encapsulate the underdog spirit that Rocky represents. The impact was immediate. Eye of the Tiger became a massive hit, topping the charts and earning a place in music history as one of the ultimate anthems of determination. It's a song that has transcended its original purpose, becoming a go-to track for anyone needing a boost of confidence or motivation. Whether you're at the gym or facing a tough challenge, the song still has the power to make you feel like you can take on the world. I Wanna Know What Love Is by Foreigner. Mick Jones, the band's lead guitarist and songwriter, wrote the song during a period of deep personal introspection and uncertainty. He was going through a tough time, questioning everything, and the song became his way of exploring those feelings. What really sets this song apart is the addition of the New Jersey Mass Choir, whose gospel-backing vocals elevate the track to another level. When Mick Jones decided to bring in the choir, it was a stroke of genius. Their voices added a layer of emotional depth that made the song not just about one man's search for love, but a universal anthem of longing and hope. The way the choir builds up towards the chorus, combined with Jones's heartfelt lyrics, creates a powerful, almost spiritual experience for the listener. The impact of I Wanna Know What Love Is was huge. It became one of Foreigner's biggest hits, reaching #1 on the charts around the world. But more than that, it's a song that has stood the test of time, resonating with people from all walks of life. Whether you're going through a tough time yourself or just appreciating the beauty of the song, it's one of those tracks that stays with you long after the music stops. Purple Rain by Prince. Originally, Prince conceived Purple Rain as a country song and had even planned to collaborate with Stevie Nicks on it. But when Nicks felt overwhelmed by the project, Prince took the song in a completely different direction, turning it into the epic rock ballad we know today. Prince's genius was in how he reworked the song, blending rock, gospel, and orchestral elements to create something truly unique. The track starts slow, almost like a ballad, but then it builds and builds, becoming more powerful and emotional as it goes on. By the time you get to the guitar solo, it's clear that you're listening to something special. Purple Rain was also the centerpiece of both the film and album of the same name, and it's no exaggeration to say that it played a huge role in defining Prince's legacy. The song's impact was monumental. Purple Rain became a massive hit, earning Prince critical acclaim and commercial success. It won Grammy Awards, topped the charts, and has since been recognized as one of the greatest songs of all time. More than that, it cemented Prince's status as one of the most innovative and influential artists in music history. Even today, Purple Rain is a song that moves people, a timeless classic that showcases Prince's incredible talent and vision. In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. Many people believe the song is about a traumatic personal experience, but Collins has said that's not exactly the case. The truth is, the song was born out of the emotional turmoil Collins was going through during his divorce. It wasn't about one specific event, but rather a general sense of anger, frustration, and heartbreak. The atmosphere of the song is what really sets it apart. From the haunting synths to the iconic drum break, In the Air Tonight creates a feeling of tension and unease that perfectly matches the emotions Collins was dealing with at the time. The lyrics are deliberately vague, which has led to all sorts of urban legends about the song's meaning, but that's part of what makes it so powerful. It's a song that lets you project your own feelings and experiences onto it. The impact of In the Air Tonight has been enormous. It became one of Collins' signature tracks, and that drum break has become one of the most famous moments in music history. The song has been featured in countless movies, TV shows, and commercials, and it's still as captivating today as it was when it was first released. Whether you're listening to it for the 100th time or the first, In the Air Tonight never fails to make an impression. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you can keep up with our latest videos.